Morning, everyone.
Morning.
So I'm here on behalf of the Stewardship Committee this morning, and I'll be speaking about our pledge drive. That's something that the Stewardship Campaign organizes, and it's the time of the year that we ask you to consider how you could give of your time, of your talents, and of your treasures to support the mission of Christ Church Waltham. And I'm the first speaker for this pledge campaign this year, and I'll be talking today about our theme, which is bearing fruit, restoration and renewal. And I'm going to be speaking to you today about the first part of that theme, which is bearing fruit. And to that end, I brought a visual aid. And I apologize, this is actually a very poor visual aid because it's very small, but this is a packet of tropical plant fruit that I brought from my home. And every 3 months, I take a packet of this tropical plant fruit and I spread it around the base of a blue Java banana plant that lives in our home. It's a plant that my wife and I have affectionately dubbed Fernando. And I do this every 3 months. Oh, and I should say too, if you've never heard of a blue Java banana plant, as you might guess, it's a banana plant that produces bananas with blue peels. But most importantly, the bananas are supposed to taste like vanilla ice cream. So I do this every 3 months, and I trim Fernando's leaves, and I position him so he's just right in the sun. And I do these things even though there is much uncertainty that surrounds our plant in our home. Can something that comes from Southeast Asia really thrive in Waltham, Massachusetts? Can a plant that lives in a pot actually reach a size and a depth of root that it needs to actually bear fruit? But I do all these things for Fernando because I have a vision for the future of our plant. And that vision is that one day my daughter Summer will reach up and she'll pull a banana off of that plant. And I can in my mind, I can just really clearly see the smile on her face as she has for the first time ever has a banana that tastes like vanilla ice cream. And that future is what helps me, continue to care for our plant and put a lot of tender, TLC into the plant to help it bear fruit. And as Christians, we like my banana plant, and we are called to bear fruit. And for me, that means doing good things that are a reflection of gratitude. Gratitude for the hope of salvation that we have in Jesus Christ, and gratitude for the good things that we enjoy here in this life as well. So, show of hands here. How many of you know the parable of the good seed, or at least have heard it before? Okay, that was not a lot of hands. I was expecting more, but in the parable, the farmer throws seed across the ground, and much of the seed dies for various reasons, but some of the seed actually grows up and becomes a healthy plant. And Jesus, when he's telling this parable to people, emphasizes that the fruit that it produces is many more times than the amount of seed that was thrown out. Second show of hands here. How about the parable of the mustard seed? Show of hands. How many of you know that parable? A little bit more, yeah. So maybe that's a more common illustration. In that parable, Jesus mentions that the kingdom of God is like a mustard seed. It starts out as one of the smallest objects, but becomes one of the largest trees. Some of you might have your phone with you. And I really encourage you, I did this recently, I really encourage you to Google mustard seed and mustard tree, because although you can imagine, the difference between a seed and a tree, it's really neat to see the two things side by side. I actually didn't realize just how small a mustard seed actually is, so it's really worth Googling, and I highly recommend it. But I bring up these stories because they shape how and why I give to Christ Church Waltham. Like the good seed in the parable of the sower, I see good things that happen at Christ Church Waltham. Yesterday, we fed 50 senior citizens in our community who were in need through Grandma's Pantry. We had an incredibly joyful, just wonderfully joyful international dinner where we had almost 90, probably almost 100 people, members of our congregation, members of our community, where we shared stories, we shared our culture and our heritage, and we had this incredible bounty of food. And then we've seen lots of new members come to Christ Church Waltham this year. And last week we had the joyful occasion I was so fortunate to be a part of when Tiffany was baptized here at Christ Church Waltham. So there are all these good things happening at Christ Church that I want to support. But I also bring up the parable of the mustard seed because I think that Christ Church Waltham has not reached its full potential yet. And I think maybe in some ways, even though this church has been here for more than 100 years, I think and I believe that we are closer to being a mustard seed perhaps than we are to being a tree that's reached its full potential. I look out into the pews and I wish there were more people there. I wish that we hadn't run out of certain foods that people would have taken at Grandma's Pantry yesterday. And I wish that there were more children that were the same age as my daughter Summer that were coming here. But just like with my banana plant at home, every little inch of growth that I see, every new leaf that comes out of the plant reminds me of the vision that I have for the future. And the good things that I see happening at Christ Church Waltham. Every time we have a joyful coffee hour where we talk about how our week has been, every time we welcome a new member, every time we get together and sing hymns here at church, I see the vision for the potential of what Christ Church Waltham could be in the future. And it motivates me to give of my time, of my talent, and my treasure to help this place become what I think it has the potential to be. So as we start the stewardship campaign, I want to let you know that you'll receive a pledge card. You can either fill out the paper version, or there'll be a link to an online form as well. And I ask you to consider, what is your vision for Christ Church Waltham? How do we get from where we are now, which is maybe something like a seed, to this big, wonderful tree that is a huge part of our community and fulfills your vision for what Christ Church can be?